Okay, let's get into it. What's up fam, Rahim here, and in today's episode I'm gonna be trying to repair my DJI FPV which I crashed a few weeks ago, and you can watch that episode right up here. So the biggest damage that I can see is that I broke this arm here. It's still kind of intact, so I want to see if I can salvage that. Probably gonna use some epoxy. Alright, so I already tested the electronic functionality of the drone, and yep, all motor spin up, gimbal works, and yeah, all that is okay. So I'm just gonna try to repair the plastics. That's I think it's a small issue. These parts are easy. I think they just popped out the landing gear for the arms, right? Yeah, just a bit loose. Probably get some of the dirt out and now I'll be fine. The sensor also has popped out. So for the parts that are like just taking off the screws, I'm just gonna fast forward, and if I'm taking off the panels, that's where I'll set it to normal speed, so you can probably learn something along the way. And for the tools needed, let me just go through what I have here. Minimally, you'll need a 1.5 mm hex driver, screwdriver also may come in handy. A container for the screws, now mine are magnetic, so yeah, something I have from my RC stuff from the brand Injora. This is kind of awesome, having it magnetic. A set of tweezers will be needed, especially if you wanna like take out your screws or you wanna realign your wires. Kirk hammered guitar picks. Now you don't need the brand, of course. I just need the guitar picks for the paneling, because some of it is definitely hard for you to reach in, and if you were to use like a screwdriver or pliers or whatsoever, that's gonna spoil the paneling. So yep, just having guitar picks to really just slide it in and pry it open. And also for the arm, I know there'll be wiring connecting from the motor to the ESC. In order for me to remove the motor, the whole arm, I will need to desolder that wiring. Alright, there's no way to just unclip it, unlatch it or whatsoever. You'll need to do some soldering if you're attempting to do this kind of repair. So alright guys, I don't know the extent of this damage, so let's just begin and open up this DJI FPV. For me, the first thing to come off must be this added Actioncam mount. I use this for my GoPro and also for 360 cam, mostly 360 cam lah. Now since it's not part of the build, this is gonna come off first. Now this is when I wanna probably take the time to give this whole drone a wipe first. Some wet wipes should do most of that job. Ugh. Okay, that's good enough. I don't need it to be like pristine clean at this current moment, right? Just as long as it's clean enough for me to get working on it. I kind of want to do the easy parts first, because I see they are this. Maybe I can just settle these areas first. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that's what you will see inside the arm of the front arms of the DJI FPV. Sometimes you may not have good signal reception. Now this is where actually could be the problem, because this thing could have dislodged from the antenna. This definitely, when I do a flight, then I'll know whether there needs to be a replacement for this. And one of the ways to know that is that if I'm lacking in reception, because I do know that I've already pushed this bird up to 3 kilometers, was it 2.5 kms out to sea, and that proved to be no issue. So if there's a reception strength issue, then probably this will be the first area that I'll need to have a look at. Not that difficult to change out this chip if you got spares for it. There's one connector here that you will have to pull out, and then there's one more on this side, and also the antenna connector. Okay, let me just quickly show you how you will take out the antenna. All you need to do is actually have a good grip here and twist to pop it out. That easy. Alright, so to pop it back in is just realign it. Now there is a specific shape and antenna, male, female, for you to align to. So just align that and pop it back into place. Now as for this connector, you have two on both sides, so it's as simple as having a good grip on the cables and just pulling it out. There you go. Okay, that's simple. Let's put this thing back together. Alright, having a bit of difficulty to piece the plastic back together, and I figured it is because of it's already a bit bent here. I guess that when during the crash, this arm bent rearwards, and so that has actually caused the plastic to bend. So nothing a bit of heat will not solve. Alright, one done. LED broke off, doesn't matter, not gonna need that. Right, 2 arms done now. This side kinda turned out much better compared to this side. It's alright. Okay, if you're gonna need to go and take out this part, do not go and tug on it because there is a ribbon wire connected right here. Alright, it's very fragile. The connection point is within the body and also at this base plate here. Now you can go and take off the whole sensor just by unclipping the mounts here, and then once the metal plate comes off, you can actually pull apart the ribbon cable. Okay, so no repair needs to be done here, just to re-clip it to these mounts here and I'll be good to go. Right, done. Okay, your turn. Right, in order to access this portion here, you'll need to take off the headpiece and also the front panel here. So all you need to do to take off the first panel, the front panel, is you'll need to pull off from the bottom all the way upwards, and then that's where the top piece will unlatch. So there are actually a few points that secure the headpiece, which is, firstly, you'll need to pry out this part. Alright, that's where my trusty picks will do their part. So you'll need to pry along here, and then at the arm you will also need to pry it out. Alright, so once you get this general area out, the headpiece will come off. There you go. Now that this is off, this is gonna get a wash. I don't know, maybe I should do some paint work for this. Let me think about it. Okay, so now let me attempt to do a quick run through of the components of what you see within the DJI FPV here. All you have here is actually a like kind of a metal helmet for the rest of the sensitive components. Most drones are gonna be the same. You're gonna have your camera, arms and motors, followed by your flight controller is gonna sit somewhere in the middle here. Alright, it probably runs at the front end, also at the top part here. That's why you have this cooling fan. This fan also serves to cool another area, which is to provide air movement through the rear and through these fins. Now these fins are sitting right on top of your ESC. Alright, that is the electronic speed controllers. This is the component that is gonna control your 4 motors. This ESC is all-in-one, I call it, because it is 4 ESCs combined in one. Now there is good and bad to that, because instead of having individual ESCs, right, separated like for DIY builders, we normally will build our ESCs to power individual motors. Meaning to say, I'd probably have an ESC on either arm, alright, within either arm of my DIY drone. So for this, the option here is all-in-one. Now the good is that it's all combined. It takes much less real estate space on the drone. But the bad is, if you are going to take an impact, for example, or one ESC burns, you'll need to change the whole board. There is no such thing as just replacing that one ESC. Okay, so good and bad about this design. What it says here, DJI FPV, right? Actually, this is your GPS park. Do not have anything blocking this area here. For example, you see my action camera mount is right on top at the front. That's because so that my GoPro sits above it. Some mounts are selling are available online where it's mounted right in this area here. Alright, so you'll have your action cam somewhere in this area. That will F up your GPS signal. You're blocking the signal. Alright, so don't have anything in this area generally. This panel will need to come off in order for me to see what's happening over on this area. Okay, so once you have the screws off, then all you need to do is pry it open from the back and then pull it out. There's going to be a very high chance that I'll need to desolder the arm, should I say the motor wiring from the ESC. So I will need to access this area, and the only way to do that is I'll remove this heatsink right over here. If I recall, there is thermal paste. In order to take off the heatsink, besides the 4 screws that were previously here, you'll need to take off 2 screws that are nearer to the outside. Alright, and that comes off. Okay, so that's the thermal paste I was referring to earlier. I won't be changing out the thermal paste because over at the heatsink there is this also thermal pad that you see here, right? This white color portion. So that's already providing pressure onto the thermal paste and then onto the board. So I don't see really a need to change and get a fresh coat of thermal paste going on. So I'm gonna take off the whole arm and of course, yeah lah, unscrew it from the panels here first. Off. So what I'm doing now is I'm removing the silicone rubber that is around the screw. Just let you guys know, kinda this will be the telltale signs that the drone has been tampered with, and so do any of these repairs at your own risk. Mine is out of warranty, and so that's why I'm attempting to do the repairs on my own. If you are still under warranty, please don't go and take these steps. Go and send the drone back to DJI and let them have a look. Okay, I kind of twisted the arm and I can see the full extent of the damage. Wires that you see, yellow and red and black. Now these are the 3 wires that are needed to run the motors. Now there's also this twisty red and black wire. Now that's power for the chip that is within the arm. That's for the LED running at the edge and also along the arm itself. So what I know now, I need to desolder the motor, confirm, and then for the LED power, I think that's just a clip that I will need to unclip. So about soldering, just a tip here for those that want to do this, right, is you do not want your soldering iron to make direct contact onto the solder that DJI has put together, simply because of it's kind of oxidized, seasoned, and whatever you want to call it, right? So having contact, it may not actually heat up the solder that's already on here. What I want to do is tint my iron, have a big blob of solder there. That's when I'll make contact onto the ESC. Okay, you gotta hold down that wire because I know this is gonna happen. The arm is just gonna fall off. Okay, so there are a few more things that are maintaining connection to the arm. Okay, namely one is the power, is this plug here. So it's the same kind of plug that is a clip in, clip out type. So all you need to do is pinch on the wires and pull it out. So kinda just remember that it's right below the topmost point here. There you go. Okay, so the grey color wire here is the antenna. It's not connected at the arm, alright, at the end of the arm. It's just running through the arm. So it's just sitting there. Then that's where once you get the wirings done, and you can just pull out the arm. Okay, so the Allen key that I'm using here is 2.5 mm. It's ideal to get the type that has this kind of ball base, alright. It's so that you can easily just continue spinning at an angle once the screw is loose. Ideally, this is how the arm is gonna look like with this piece intact. It feels firm having this piece back in, and like I feel like I could just maybe just use the resin to fix this back together, but I know that this is an integral part of supporting the whole arm, and having drones last time that have broken arms, as simple as a light crack on the carbon fiber, it will cause a lot of oscillations of the arm itself, right? And that's gonna be very bad for video. So I know lah, there's like camera stabilization and all that, but I'm not gonna take that risk, because by having too many oscillations will work the drone too hard. The ESC is gonna heat up very fast and it may just burn out the ESC or a motor. So I will change out the whole arm. Now that is actually not the most painful part of this whole repair steps. I have my registration label. Now I can show you right here. I don't care about the numbers anymore, because I will actually need to deregister this drone, simply because I have 4 other drones that have been registered. Now in Singapore, you are only allowed to have 5 for the first go, meaning to say that if I want to register more drones, I'll need to actually write in to request for more. So I have not done that. I am actually at my max right now since I bought the Mini 3, so that was the last to be registered. So I'll need to deregister this drone because the damn sticker is on the arm. So I can't just peel the sticker. It is a anti-temper kind of sticker, which is gonna just be too obvious lah. So I'm not teaching you to do the wrong thing. No, I'm just saying that I am registered to this drone. It's just that changing out the arm happens to be on the same side of the sticker. So I'm not gonna bother to answer to authorities like, hey, why have you tempered the sticker or so on, right? So I'm just gonna have to register again, deregister this and register again. I'll take the time to get a set of new arms. Now sadly they don't, I think they do sell just one side. I just need the arm. All the motor, everything else is fine. So guys, I'm sorry, this episode is gonna end here because I will need some time to order the parts, and so maybe I'll take this time to also paint this guy. Maybe I'll give it a styling of my own. Like finally, I think like so many people have painted their DJI FPVs and I've not got to that. So okay, yep. So probably in the next round I'll have the parts. I can fix up. There will be the part 2 where I'll fix up everything. Okay, with repairs all done, new paintwork scheme going on, and yeah, then that's where we'll fly the drone, test it out. Hopefully everything works out. If not, then I'll probably want to close the loop in that second episode. So anyways, I'm just gonna need to wrap up this episode right here. Sorry I couldn't complete it, but there will be a part 2, and I hope you can join me for that episode. Now if you've liked this video, do give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, chat with me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Pilots, as always, I'll see you in the skies. Peace.